You all know who Tommy Hicks is. He, along with Ronna McDaniel, is running the RNC and doing a great job. Thank you, Tommy, for what you're doing.
Thank you.
They've raised record amount of money, including from people in this room, but more importantly than that, they are gearing up the RNC for what is going to be the great example, it already is, the greatest example of our ground game, and they've hired a lot of lawyers, right, Tommy?
We're going to need to, right?
Yeah.
No, it's been incredible. We have the biggest grassroots army in the history of presidential politics. We have 2.5 million people out there knocking on doors, making phone calls, going around the fake news to make sure we tell the story and get people to vote for the president and Republicans all the way down the ballot. It's really all about America versus socialism, and we all know it. So I was, in the business world 4 years ago, and I called my friend Don Trump Jr., and I said, I've never done this before, but I want to help. I want to help, whether it's carry your bags. I have no idea. I've never done this before. And he said, that's all right. We've never done this before either. And so it's been a great ride. We have an incredible team all across the country, and we will win this thing because there's a divine hand over America.
I agree with that completely. The other thing that's amazing, and since you're friends with Don Jr., the amount of activity from the first family. We were just with Kimberly Guilfoyle on the bus. I can't even remember the states I've been in. That was in Florida. That was in Florida. And what Mercy is on the road with Ivanka, and they are somewhere today. I don't even know where it is. They've been in Naples. They've been in Michigan. They've been to New Hampshire. The crisscross. So and then that juxtaposes nicely with the Biden family, I guess. I don't know kind of where to go on that. It's
big
guy. I guess there was a press conference while we're having CPAC here, and I know this is going to come as a huge shock to you, but those emails are verified, and they're real. And we don't know whether to cheer or cry. It's kind of pathetic and really wrong. Tommy, you're out on the campaign trail constantly. This idea that the Democratic nominee is so cozy with China, this is a big problem.
Absolutely. It's become a national security election. I mean, China's our biggest strategic competitor, and if we have a president who's soft on China, who's owned by China, it's over for us. We have to win this thing, and I think the president's going to do a great job tonight of making the case.
Yeah. We're going to watch it here.
All right.
You guys see the TVs. We're going to watch it here, and we're going to cheer on the president. And it's a really big day. You know, the co-chair and I have had the chance to talk about polling a lot. And he gets, regularly briefed on what's going on with polling. And the one thing I can tell you after having spent a lot of time with a lot of different pollsters over the course of the last 30 days, don't read what these folks are saying about the polls. And second of all that matters in a political race isn't the snapshot today. It matters the trajectory. And all signs are positive on the fact that this race is shaping up very much to be like last time, with millions of silent voters, millions of folks across this country, including in Minnesota, that don't want to get into all these conversations about their white privilege and everything else and be made to feel bad for loving their country, that the polling is actually, it's really positive. And
that we have to win this thing. It's not about us necessarily. It's for our children and our grandchildren. And if we win this thing, I promise you, the 21st century is the American century.
So, Tommy, you said that there's a divine hand over all of this. And I think all folks who are believers, we have a humility to trying to figure out what God's plans are for each of us as Americans and for our country. But is your feeling that America's role for freedom and human rights is just too big in the whole world? And you travel all around this world and done business. It's too big in this whole world for it to go slinking away into embracing socialism.
Well, I think I often say this is the most important election in our country's history, but the reality is that it's probably the most important election in the history of the world, because if we go socialist, where does the world go? We are the safest place in the world. We are the beacon of freedom. We have to keep that going. If we lose, it's over. It's dark for the rest of the world history.
That's exactly right. No, that's exactly right. Now, you come from Texas, this big, proud Lone Star state, and the other thing you will constantly read is that Texas could go blue. Now, I assume Senate and all these great House candidates were up here just a few moments ago. What's your take on all these congressional races out there, all these Senate races? You think that if the president carries these tough battleground states, we'll have a lot of those victories will come along with it?
Absolutely, and I'm not sure if this room knows, but we have in 2016, between 2016 and 2018 in the midterms, we lost 8.2 million voters who voted for the president in 16 when he was not on the ballot. We lost 31 congressional districts that the president won in 16. We've got to get those people back out to vote, and then our growing, maybe not so silent majority, and we can absolutely take back the House and hold on to the Senate.
Big news. Okay, so this is Minnesota, and everyone knows, and we've talked about it for since the beginning of this CPAC. We win Minnesota, this race is over. Tommy, what do you want to urge the great, wonderful Americans who are before you right now to do in the closing days of the campaign to win Minnesota?
Work harder than you've ever worked in your life, even though you're not getting paid. But you have a great team here in Minnesota. Your state chair, who I know you're going to hear from later, has done an incredible job. We've made over 4 million voter contacts here in Minnesota. Just think about that. We will flip this state. We lost it by 44,000 votes. And now I think we all understand how important law enforcement is here. The president's got a heck of a track record, including USMCA, which is great for Minnesota. So
every single one in the room.
I will do my best.
Thank you, Tommy Hicks, for all the great work that the RNC's doing, and Ronna McDaniel and the whole team.
Thank all of you for everything you do. Let's win this thing. It is the most important election in our lifetime, and we will do it.
Let's do it.